Hey, I'm Drake and I like to draw, and today we're going to be talking about digital art and the devices that we use for it, specifically pen displays and the iPad Pro. So I'm not going to give an in-depth or techie review of the specs of the iPad Pro or any of the pen displays. I'm more so going to give a walkthrough of these devices through the perspective of someone that likes to draw every day, so you can better determine whether or not you want to spend your money on something like the iPad Pro or a pen display, or just stick with traditional overall. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, I'd definitely stay tuned, because I'm going to be going over a lot of the things that I wish I knew when it came to digital art, especially the differences between the iPad Pro and the pen displays, and making sure that you're best accommodated for the device that you're going to get for your digital art experience. So with that, let's just jump right into it. I think the first thing that people want to hear about when getting a digital art device is the price comparisons between all of them, but that could be especially difficult when we're talking about pen displays. Pen displays could range anything from like 300 all the way to 5 grand. They could kind of go all over the place, especially when you compare their budget models to their more professional models. But when we look at the iPad Pros, we're looking at a more fixed, expensive price. It's probably going to end up costing you more than $1,000, especially if you want to get all the tools needed for it to be a art device. So yes, you could find pen displays that are a lot cheaper, but before you run out and get one, make sure you answer these two questions first. 1, do you already have a decent computer? And 2, do you plan to take your digital art on the go? The reason why you want to answer these two questions is because you at least need a decent computer in order to plug your pen display into it. And on top of that, you need a power supply in order to get all of that running. So wherever you plug your pen display and your computer is pretty much going to stay there. So you really can't take it on vacation, or you're not going to take it to the park, and I'd say it's probably even too clunky to take it to the cafe. Which brings us to the iPad, and the cool thing about the iPad is that it acts as an all-in-one device. So it acts as your pen display, computer, and power supply all in one. So you could take this to the cafe, to the park, or on vacation, pretty much wherever you want. But do keep in mind, art apps can be taxing on the battery, so you might want to keep a charger and a power bank on you, just in case your iPad runs out of charge. So if you figured that pen displays are for you, I'd like to talk a little bit about the options you have when it comes to selecting a pen display. The most reputable pen display is from a Japanese company named Wacom. A lot of professionals recognize this to be one of the best pen display companies out there, but in recent times, people have been praising Chinese companies such as Huion and XPpen for their affordability and also decent build quality. So keep that in mind when selecting a pen display. I myself, on a budget, went with Huion and got myself a Canvas 22, which cost me around $400, and I have been using it for the past 2 years, and it still holds up pretty well. The first drawing application you want to check out for your pen display is called Krita. The reason why you want to check it out first is because it's 100% free, so you can just go to their website, download it, and right out of the bag you can make professional level art with this free software, which is freaking awesome. The second application you want to look out for is Clip Studio Paint. The cool thing about Clip Studio Paint is that it's geared towards manga and comic creators, but it's also a lot more than that. You could animate and paint in there as well. I personally like it for its inking tools and screen tone engines built in. You want to look out though, because it used to be priced around $50, but as of recently they're switching it to a subscription service, so you want to look into it before making a purchase. But with that being said, it's still not as expensive as Photoshop. Photoshop can be used as a very nice drawing software, but you also have to keep in mind that it's used for a lot more than just drawing, so you're going to spend a lot more for Photoshop at the end of the day. But if that is something that you want to use, you could use your money however you wish. Now when it comes to the iPad Pro, I highly recommend you get one that supports the second generation Apple Pencil that can stick right on the side. I find that to be the most enjoyable experience when it comes to the iPad. They also come in many different sizes, so you could have anything from like 10 inch to 12.9 inch. I think they also go smaller. This one right here is an 11 inch, and I find this to be very comfortable for me. I don't know if I'd go any smaller than this though. So if you're thinking about getting one smaller than an 11 inch, I would go look at it and check it out to make sure it's comfortable for you. Something I want you guys to be aware of is that the Apple Pencil does not come with the iPad Pro, and since it's essential for digital art, you're going to have to get it. It probably is around $130, give or take. I have seen people try to get knockoffs of the Apple Pencil, and I would highly recommend not doing that. I know it seems like an expensive purchase, but the Apple Pencil has to be one of the greatest stylists for a drawing tablet I have ever used, and it's pretty close to the authentic experience of drawing. So with that being said, this is just something you're going to have to get if you want to do digital art on the iPad. Also take note that a lot of recent pen displays have this laminated matte finish on top of their screen to make it feel a lot more like paper. Unfortunately, the iPad Pro does not come with a matte screen, but you can buy these matte screen protectors online. They have a variety of them from many different prices. I've got this one for about $13 and it works just fine. And there has been a little bit of a controversy around these matte screen protectors, whether or not if it's okay to put on your iPad Pro, because people are afraid that it will wear the Apple Pencil nib down. And I'm just going to cut to the chase and say yes, it will wear it down. I do have a light grip on my pencil, but I do draw a lot, and it eventually starts to show wear and tear on the pencil. I haven't worn it down to the metal yet, but it will eventually get there. Which it's okay though, because you can replace the nibs. You could buy a pack of 4 for around, I think, $20 from the Apple Store, which is not too bad. And I definitely think that for the authenticity of the matte screen protector, it is a worthy sacrifice. But if you're really worried about putting a matte screen protector on your iPad Pro, I do recommend just drawing on it for 2 months or so without it and seeing if you could get over the slipperiness of the screen. If you can, that's good, but if you can't, I highly recommend just smacking a matte screen protector on it. I know that I can't live without mine. It's changed the way I draw on it completely. Besides the matte screen protector, some other accessories that I would deem essential is some form of casing to protect the iPad, and at times the Apple Pencil could be a bit slippery, so I'd recommend a grip. Another cool thing is that you can find these cases that double as a stand, so you could prop your iPad up as you draw on it. When it comes to drawing applications for the iPad Pro, I've really only used one, and that is Procreate. It's like a $13 purchase in the App Store, and it's a very well-rounded app. It has pretty much everything you could ask for, and it also has animation features as well, so be sure to check that out. I also wanted to mention that there is a free drawing application for the iPad Pro called Infinite Painter. I haven't used it yet, but I've heard from many that it is a very great app, so go give it a look if you're looking for a free app. Cool feature that the iPad Pro has for artists that a lot of people don't talk about is the built-in camera. If you're someone that likes to take a bunch of reference photos, the iPad could just take high quality photos. You could put it into a drawing software right on the device and you just use them as is, which is just a really cool feature to take on the go. So that was a quick overview on pen displays and the iPad Pros. Remember, if you're going to get into digital art, you want to make sure you get the equipment that is best suited for your needs. Remember that the pen displays require a PC and a power source, where the iPad is an all-in-one device that can be taken pretty much anywhere. And if you're going to go and get one of these, whether it's an iPad or a pen display, make sure you do the research on the specific model that you're going to get, because it might not suit the needs that you're looking for. There's a lot of them out there and they're all have a lot of variety to them, so just make sure you do your proper research. So with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. I do plan to make more tutorial content in the future, and I'd appreciate it if you left a like and commented on some of the content that you'd like to see below. And yeah, that's it. Keep practicing, guys. I'm out.